What happens when you take an artist like Lil Wayne and make Bob Dylan a songwriter? Ladies and gentlemen, hip-hop is not as much of a genre as it is an idea. Organized Rhyme Entertainment was established in Orlando, Florida in 2011. The indie label remains highly selective and stays true to the goal of creating an authentic movement in hip-hop. Sincere and genuine in every endeavor, rest assured, Organized Rhyme Entertainment will sustain a stable position in today's music industry. Now let's travel back to the 1970s and pretend we're all in the South Bronx of New York, witnessing the onset of hip-hop. Legendary DJs like Grandmaster Flash and Africa Bambaataa started a sound that birthed breakdancers, MCs, and graffiti writers. Now these four elements started a culture called hip-hop, and it's entertained us for generations. Our vision is to revive that culture and expand on those four elements in order to capture the new wave of hip-hop consumer. See, currently it's common talk that there's a disconnect between the true hip-hop fan and the commercial standard of today's rap music. Our staff is already handling that problem. Gabriel Garcia is in charge of marketing and branding. Gaige Kidd handles the tour management and booking. And I'm Markus Evans, the A&R and publicist for Organized Rhyme Entertainment. We make money from physical CD sales, song licensing via independent movies or video games, merchandise like stickers, hats, t-shirts, hoodies, as well as live performances and digital sales. Now we're in the pre-launch stage. Our logo's already trademarked, and we're actually recording the album right now. So as soon as we're officially an LLC and we release the album, we'll start doing live performances and backing that up with sales. Over the course of 2 years, we will have released 2 albums, gone on supporting tours, meet and greets, in-store performances, radio interviews, etc. At this moment, I'm going to pass it off to Gabriel and let him talk about our marketing and branding. Thank you.
Okay, so as far as marketing goes, this is our target market. We're looking at male and female of ages from 20 to 26, who are middle class, spend about $20,000 to $40,000 a year, who like poetry nights, who go to open mic nights, who do various hip-hop concerts a year, who buy music either through digital means or any other new means besides cash. As far as our marketing strategies, right now we're in pre-launch. So as you can see right now, we're already interacting and engaging with our fans and consumers on social network. Our main goal for right now is to establish our website. On our website, we're going to post our content, use update information. One cool thing we want to do is, since we really believe in the hip hop culture, not only do we want our website to represent Organized Rhyme, but we want to have like a blog where we can engage in fans and audiences to come to our website and participate, because we're going to have topics on artists that we like or support that are not on Organized Rhyme's roster, or any issues going on in the hip-hop community that are relevant to today that we want to address.
Hey everybody, I'm Gaige. I'm talking to you a little bit about profitability, expenses, and sales. As you see on the chart in front of you, our marketing is our biggest expense moving throughout years 1 and years 2. We would really like to hit a lot of media, social networking, Facebook, everything like that. Gabe went into it a little bit earlier. Other notable expenses are rent. We have a recurring expense of $500 a month for rent for a home that we're going to be renting out, as well as shipping, which we assume will be about $150 a month, given current shipping rates, flat rate, anything like that. We also have a large capital expense for pre-launch. That's going to be all of our furniture, any equipment that we need to buy, just any other expenses that come up before we actually launch the company, any materials, anything else that we need. We're expecting to spend the majority of our money on marketing, so we do have quite a bit budgeted for that. The capital expense alone was over $25,000. So yeah. Sales assumption. Our cost of goods sold was research from companies we will be actually buying the product from. So we went out there, we found t-shirts, we researched different companies, and we found, this company was cheaper than that company, so we decided to go with this. So we put that into our cost of goods sold. And our sales projection is based on conservative estimates and research from startup companies and past experience from Gabriel, myself, and Markus. Commissions for our artists and for our investors are based off how much money we expect to make each month. Our sales projection is the majority of our revenues come from EPs and t-shirt sales, as you see in front of you, as well as stickers, licensing, and hoodies. Now, licensing is going to be a little bit difficult for the first year because we're on an established label. So creating those relationships is the key. So licensing your music out so other labels, other companies, the larger labels get wind of your artists and therefore purchase more of their music. And last but not least, we're going to talk a little bit about a profitability outlook. Obviously, it's a first and second year of a company, and any company in first and second year isn't exactly going to be breaking in the millions, but we are expecting to make a solid increase in the amount of money that we do make from years 1 to years 2. As you see, pre-launch is the lowest point where we spend about that $25,000 I discussed earlier, and then it constantly goes up. And we actually have a quarter in which we are in the net profit rather than net loss, and that's in quarter 7. And I want to talk to you a little bit about our company equity as well. It's split up between 4 people: Markus, myself, and Gabriel, as well as a silent investor. Markus, myself, and Gabriel will be taking 28.33% of the company, each one of us, and the silent investor will have 15% of the company. Silent investor is investing $58,000, a one-time investment that will be paid off after 5 years completely. Markus Evans is donating a van that's, it's estimated to be about $15,000, and Gabriel is contributing about $2,000.
So Organeyes Rhyme Entertainment began operations with a $58,000 budget. By the end of year 2, they cut that deficit to only $7,000. By year 5, the investor will not only have all of his money back, there will also be a 30% return on his initial investment. Obviously, Organeyes Rhyme is not only highly feasible, but a lucrative venture as well. Thank you for your time. It's been my pleasure, and I'd like to open up the floor for any questions.
So, Organeyes Rhyme is primarily dedicated to artist marketing, correct?
No, we're a record label.
Record label as well.
No, we are a record label.
Oh,
Right. But there's going to be a lot of marketing, a lot of promotions, a lot of things like that. Because it's an independent record label, we're not outsourcing that. Like I said, I handle publicity, A&R. He's doing marketing, branding. He's doing touring and booking. So we are burning the midnight oil in the beginning until we can afford specialization.
I guess I didn't notice anything in there about actually creating the music so much.
Oh, okay.
And maybe the artists aren't putting any albums out there. It's just live performances. But I imagine if you are a record label, that you have something dedicated to actually money going into putting together the actual.
Oh, of course. In our budget, we failed to mention that, but in our budget, there is resources allocated toward marketing gear, and we do have in-house mix engineers as well. We're only going to have to outsource for mastering and manufacturing.
You guys are doing that right now?
Right now, that showcase, that's an actual flyer. We put on a showcase May 9th. We had over 35 acts. Flip over the back, it's got all the elements I spoke about. We had magazine journalists, A&Rs from Cali and DC, radio personnel there. So yeah, it's happening.
Okay. Earlier on, I had made a comment about what you'll be shipping, but I saw, I guess, in the next slide that it was physical goods, which again is what led me to believe that you're mostly on the marketing side, creating original material for the artists. The other thing I was going to hit on, at least from shared ownership, I don't know if it's the best thing to do to have all of you have equal share in the company. It might be better to have at least one person have majority ownership, even if it's just like 1%. I mean, you look like you were getting ready to take your silent investor out within like a year or 2 years in, just so that there's some sort of final say in this decision, especially when you're being involved with like the livelihoods of several other individuals who are making their money specifically off of just music.
Yeah, after the 5 years, we planned on restructuring the equity of the company, and then we would actually put somebody as the majority shareholder, so somebody at 51%. And then the other two, Gabriel and myself, would hold, 25% each, or 20.
I actually totally agree with what you're saying, and I brought that up as well. Since I have a $15,000 investment, which is higher than any of the other owners, I should have a bigger percentage. Also, that's just the way it works. But I let them bully me over. But I know that's entirely
Such a nice guy.
For these purposes, it's okay, but when it comes down to the contract.
You had
Say business.
you had a pretty large portion of your budget dedicated to networking. Can you describe, I guess, exactly what you mean when you say networking?
Pretty much like just going to conferences. You know, we're gonna, for the conferences, we want to have press kits out to get out to the conferences, cards with QR codes. We're gonna have also, like, as Marcus mentioned, like pins with the company logo and like stress balls. Just creative ways just to get out the brand and build brand awareness before our release comes out. Also, I mean, the marketing budget, it was a little bit, there was some miscommunication in there. It was actually also for showcases, because when we go on tour, we're going to do our own showcases as well. We open up the tour, and the showcases cost a lot of money to set it up. I mean, we'd be making return from doing the showcases, but it does cost a lot of money to set it up.
Yeah, and there's a little contingency fee in that networking. That's why it's so high. What's to say that next week I don't need to take out the chief editor at a local publication for lunch, you know? So we want to set that aside to be able to capitalize on opportunities like that.
Just to go, like, if we're going to South by Southwest in Austin, or if we're going to ASCAP in California, or any other conferences in New York, what it costs to fly over there, what it costs in money to eat over there, what it costs in lodging and all that. So,
yeah, one thing, at least that I've learned from this experience, is that for events like South by Southwest, they charge out the ass for tickets to those things, and oftentimes they're really not worth it. And I know a lot of your networking comes from things like private parties or concerts that are going on, you know, at somebody's house, and you run into lots of different people that way. So I don't know if that would actually make a dent in where your expenses are coming from, but you know, you may be able, especially in that first year, cut costs by just kind of doing it on the ground as opposed to trying to get in the doors at some of these things like panels and things like that.
yeah, I guess with the experience we're going to buy, I mean, my personal experience with going to conferences, I've actually made a lot of contacts, valuable contacts, and built good relationships with people. So I see that.
So speaking about marketing, how do you differentiate marketing and advertising for like EP sales versus digital? Because I saw a big chunk of about revenue from physical sales. What's the differentiation and how we market those?
As far as digital sales, most of, you know, pretty much like as far as digital goes, I guess the best way to do marketing would be just through social networking for the meantime and our website. I mean, people we already have contact with and relationships with will be looking out for us from the relationships we built. Our physical sales will be coming mostly, you know, from touring, because we plan on doing a college tour, we plan on doing an East Coast tour, and a South by Southwest tour, because we're going to be in Florida, so we're going to be doing the South by Southwest tour all the way to Cali.
Physical sales will be marketed through physical press kits or print media, such as flyers and posters. But as far as digital marketing, we'd like to work with somebody like a Grooveshark and set up something to where we don't only get exposure on their website, but we buy advertisements, banner ads, things like that, and get into that space so we can advertise in the digital realm.
How many artists you guys working with?
One in particular.
Okay, we'll go ahead and end it right there. Thank you, organizers.